Space Jace, Volume 1, by T.M. Connolly. Jace Vale had spent his whole life watching starships rise from the spaceport beyond his home. More than anything, he dreamed of exploring the stars himself. His mother, Commander Mara Vale, had once explored those stars aboard a ship called the Horizon. 3 years ago, she disappeared while investigating a mysterious region known as the Black Nebula. No wreckage was ever found, and no message ever came home. Everyone else had stopped searching, but Jace never stopped believing she was still out there. Jace spent most days in his uncle's repair shop near the spaceport. He collected broken machines, discarded circuit boards, and anything else the crews threw away. From those forgotten parts, Jace built 2 small astrobots. Pip was a quick little scouting astrobot, while Bolt could repair almost anything with wires inside it. Pip had been made from an old navigation scanner that once belonged to Jace's mother. Bolt's metal arms came from a repair unit she once used aboard the Horizon. The astrobots were more than machines to Jace. They were his helpers, his best friends, and the closest connection he still had to his mother. One evening, Pip began chirping wildly beside the workshop radio. Buried beneath the static was a repeating signal coming from deep inside the Black Nebula. Jace cleaned up the signal and listened again. Between the crackles, he heard 3 words: Horizon, Vale, alive. Jace rushed to show the spaceport officers, but they said the signal was probably an old recording. The Black Nebula scrambled transmissions all the time. The next morning, Jace learned that the newly rebuilt Aurora was preparing to continue the mission to the Black Nebula. Captain Elena Reyes would lead the mission, but no children were allowed aboard. Jace knew Pip had detected something the spaceport mainframe had missed. If the signal really came from his mother, he could not let the Aurora leave without him. That night, Jace packed his orange spacesuit, a few freeze-dried food bars, and his mother's old star map. With Pip and Bolt beside him, he slipped through the spaceport security gates. The 3 friends hid inside an empty equipment container being loaded onto the Aurora. Minutes later, the engines thundered to life beneath them. Jace felt the entire container shake as the ship lifted into the sky. He had dreamed of flying aboard the Aurora, just not while hiding behind a stack of cleaning supplies. Jace quietly pushed open the door to the equipment container. The coast was clear. Pip and Bolt snuck out first, then Jace. When they left the hangar, Pip bumped a control panel and sent a mop bucket rolling into the corridor. A surprised crew member turned around to find Jace staring back at her. Captain Reyes was not pleased to discover a stowaway aboard her ship. She was about to order the Aurora to turn around until Jace played the signal Pip had discovered. The captain's expression changed when she heard the message. She uploaded the signal into the ship's computer. The signal wasn't sent 3 years ago. It was sent the day before Pip found it. They were already too far from home to turn back without losing precious time. Captain Reyes told Jace he could stay on board, but only if he stayed on the command deck and followed every order. Captain Reyes sat down in the captain's chair with Jace, Pip, and Bolt beside her. She turned on the star drive, and the Aurora jumped forward to light speed. As they slowed down, a swirling cloud of purple darkness filled the windows ahead. The Aurora had reached the Black Nebula. The instant they entered, the ship's lights flickered, and the navigation screens filled with nonsense. Even the Aurora's powerful computers could no longer tell which direction they were traveling. Jace realized that Pip's old scanner had been built before the newer navigation systems. Pip's simple signals passed through the strange interference without becoming scrambled. Pip projected a narrow path through the nebula. Captain Reyes carefully guided the Aurora between enormous storms of crackling blue energy. A sudden blast struck the side of the ship and damaged the engine controls. Bolt raced beneath the command console and repaired the broken connections just before the engines failed. Then something enormous appeared through the clouds. It was an older model starship, drifting silently near the heart of the nebula. A faded symbol on its side identified it as Commander Vale's ship, the Horizon. The mysterious signal was coming from somewhere inside it. The Aurora docked beside the abandoned ship. Jace, Pip, and Bolt joined Captain Reyes and 2 crew members as they crossed through the airlock. The Horizon's corridors were dark, dusty, and completely silent. Empty helmets floated through the air as though their owners had vanished in the middle of their work. Pip followed the signal to the ship's command deck. There, Jace discovered his mother's gold mission badge resting on the captain's chair. Before he could pick it up, the Horizon suddenly awakened. Red lights flashed, metal doors slammed shut, and security astrobots surrounded them. Jace noticed that the security astrobots were not attacking. They were repeating the same damaged warning, because the Horizon's central computer had been trapped in an endless emergency program. Pip communicated with them while Bolt opened the computer panel. Together, they discovered that Commander Vale had tried to repair the ship before the Nebula trapped her crew. A powerful energy storm was approaching, and the Horizon's damaged reactor was beginning to overload. If it exploded, both ships would be destroyed. Pip flew through a narrow ventilation shaft to reconnect the navigation circuits. Bolt climbed inside the reactor controls, while Jace used his mother's star map to plot an escape route. The storm struck before they could finish. Jace held the final cable in place with both hands, while Bolt sealed the connection. The Horizon's power returned, and a hidden recording appeared on the main control screen. Commander Vale explained that she and the surviving crew had escaped in emergency pods before the ship became trapped. Her final message included the location of a planet outside the nebula's grasp, where the survivors had landed. The signal had been waiting inside the Horizon for someone to receive it. With the storm closing around them, Jace sat in the Horizon's captain's chair and used his mother's map to guide both ships out of the nebula. For the first time, Captain Reyes called him Space Jace. The Aurora and the Horizon set course for the distant planet, and the mother whom Jace had never stopped searching for. With Pip and Bolt beside him, Jace looked toward the stars and knew his greatest adventure had only just begun. To be continued.